Do you think the media is real to what they're saying to people, or do you think they're trying to push an agenda?
I think that the media is not owned by people that look like me, and that they put their self-propaganda out there all the time. I think that there's more money made in fear, and there's more money hate in racism than anti-racism. I think that the media doesn't want to see us and don't promote us together.
But
so they
why
keep
not?
them.
Hey everybody, we have a special guest here today, Tracy Harding, a friend of mine now for over 20 years. I met him back years ago when I was actually student teaching, and most people don't know that about me. Tracy is actually the outreach director for the Pennsylvania Democratic Party. So Tracy's whole job is to help Democrats win the election where they hire him for, which he handles the whole state of Pennsylvania, and you work on a national level on the Biden campaign and everything else. Tracy, you own your own business also. You own Lou and Chew's restaurant bar down in the Huntington Park area in Philadelphia.
Yep.
You're a local person. You're a son of a Philadelphia cop. We're going to talk about a lot of different things here today from all over that you want to talk about. You asked me to come on, and you feel like they're important to you.
Absolutely.
Welcome to the den, first of all. And
Thanks.
It's nice to see you. You're still good looking and charismatic as always.
Thank you.
So let's just jump right into it. You know, I met you, full transparency. Tracy worked for Mayor Street, and I don't know if you were chief of staff, but you were definitely his right-hand person.
I was deputy director of the Mayor's Action Center for him.
Yeah, so let me tell you a true story about how me and Tracy, we wind up meeting, we started going out together, hanging out together, and so I won't tell him all the stories, but when I was teaching in an urban school down in Albany, and I don't think it was a white kid in the classroom at the time, if I remember correctly. And I said, Tracy, you got to come down and talk to these kids. I mean, these are amazing kids, and they need a great role model. And literally, Tracy said, I'll be there whenever you want. I didn't think Tracy would come. I said, Tracy, how's next week, Tuesday morning? You were there? He was supposed to stay for 1 hour with your team. They stayed for 3.5 hours. And then the bonus was he actually brought the mayor to an Allen Iverson party for us that we invited the kids to for free. Mm-hmm. And you didn't want nothing in return.
Nope.
Not one single thing.
Nope.
And let's talk about that. Why is the community so important to you?
Well, I think that...
Why don't you introduce yourself first?
Hello to the Lance Bachmann world. I'm Tracy Hardy. I am a parent of 6 individual beautiful children. I am a husband to a beautiful wife, Jennifer Gomez Hardy, who's a lawyer. She has her own law firm, Gomez Law Group. I am now like I said, the statewide Pennsylvania Outreach Director. And what that details is that I help everyone up and down the ticket get elected across the state of Pennsylvania, from governors, from senators, from state representatives, to mayors, to city council people. So wherever they see deemed that the state party is involved, I get involved.
I'm assuming Democrat, right? Just to clear.
Yes, Democrats. Okay. Yes. I've been doing this for over 20 plus years. I am now 47 years old. I've been to 7 different countries and did this in Africa, Brazil. I've won 98% of my elections because I'm just disciplined for winning. I want to win. It doesn't matter the candidate. I just want to win. And that comes from a sporting background of playing football and everything else. That is me. Welcome.
Well, welcome to the show. I know you have a few different topics you want to really talk to.
Yes.
And, you know, my team said, Lance, we shouldn't go down some of these roads. My team's against it, right?
Okay.
They said, Lance, you're in a no-win position. You're a white male, 47 years old. You can't win having these conversations. And that's what made me say, you know what, I'm going to.
Yeah.
Because I told them about a conversation I had with someone where I said, I don't see race about a year ago. And this woman returned and said, well, you're prejudiced then. I said, well, maybe I just want to be happy, and I have friends that are everything in the world, and I don't make any judgments on that. And maybe, yeah, sure, Tracy's black, you're African American, I'm white, but 20-some year of friendship, I don't think we've ever really even discussed. I mean, we discussed it, but we never been like, you're black, I'm white, right?
No.
It's always been about other things.
Yes.
And I don't think people understand you can still do that in society and have a good conversation And we're going to talk about multiple things, but do you think people are losing that today right now? It seems like everyone's just on edge, and if you say something like, I don't see color, automatically you're deemed a racist instead of them thinking it the other way of, I just want everyone to be happy. And yeah, obviously I know you're black. Obviously I know you're Asian. Obviously I know you're gay and you're white. I mean, that's right. I'm pretty, but maybe I don't want to go down that road. I just want to treat you like a human.
True. I am probably like the most multifaceted person you ever meet. And I say that because I'm not trying to big up myself. I'm saying it because of the fact that I grew up in Roxborough, Manioc. And a lot of people don't know this. 50 years ago, 100 years, 60 years ago, when my father and grandparents grew up, but it was poor. You had poor Polish, Irish, poor African Americans. Now they think it's the greatest thing because you could buy, they put all these restaurants down there. No. Manioc was dirt poor. We welfare cheese, we ate that. Powdered milk, we ate that. But I grew up in a community with the same folks that were white that were just as poor as me. So we didn't have nothing but each other. I didn't learn racism. And, some people in the neighborhood, they were racist. But the kids that I grew up with really wasn't. And if they were, it was never deemed that way towards Tracy Hardy. Now, my wife will have a different perspective about that, but that's because she's Hispanic. She'll say that she thinks all my white friends are racist. But I just think that they're just selective of who they want to mess with and who they don't want to mess with. And that's just the different relationships they have. Now, when I moved, my dad moved us to Mount Airy. Now you have what I call real racism. You have the lighter black with curly hair, I am, hated on the darker black with short hair, long hair. I'm like, what? I had more problems with my own kind than with when I went back to Roxborough, Manioc.
You obviously know my story. We talked about it. I grew up dirt poor. And I believe there is some racism out there on both ends. I think people like you said earlier, there's just bad people, and that's on you. I believe it's an economic problem more than, in my opinion, I believe poor people, whether you're black, purple, Chinese, from the moon, just get shit on. And you hear me say it all the time. They get treated like garbage. They get looked down on, And I always say this. Do you think Ben Carson's son is going to the local crappy elementary school and being beat up and talked to, and if he gets arrested, do you think he's not getting the best attorney? Right?
Yeah.
Well, that's not the same for how we grew up.
Yeah, exactly.
How I grew up. So I think it's an economic problem. And that's not a shot at Ben Carson or anything like that. Great guy. I know he's self-made too. I'm just saying, I'm giving you an example of a prestigious African-American male where his son's not going to have the same as a white kid, black, purple, or Chinese that grow up in an economically challenged neighborhood. I mean, that's, when I think about it, I'm like, if people can understand, yes, there is racism, but not everyone's racist. And I think somehow the media, do you think the media is real to what they're saying to people, or do you think they're trying to push an agenda?
I think that the media is not owned by people that look like me, and that they put their self-propaganda out there all the time. I think that there's more money made in fear, and there's more money hate in racism than anti-racism. I think that the media doesn't want to see us and don't promote us together.
But
so they
why
keep
not?
that.
Why not? Why can't people just do, one of my good friends, Kamar, we've probably never had a conversation about racism. I've known him 30 years. As a matter of fact, we've been in fistfights together when we were younger against other people. We almost, true story, I almost got into a fight with 4 or 5 black guys in Manioc. You were your 2 friends. You came and took my side. You didn't even think about it. People just don't even, do you think it's as bad as the media says, or do you think, what's your opinion? I think the viewers truly want to know, and I think you'll be dead honest with them.
I think that, one, it's a problem within ourselves and our own selves as African Americans, because we haven't put the pride, dignity, and respect and build our culture based the way we should ourselves. So we are internally fighting with ourselves, and we're internally fighting with each other. How can we get along with somebody else? How can we be open to hear what somebody else is saying? And I thought through education would be a way to a segue to have everybody come together. Sports did that. My coach, my coach at Roxborough, man, he said, man, I don't care if the guy's purple, green, or whatever. You throw the ball, you catch the ball. Let me find out if a black player is fighting and the white player ain't fighting with him. You gonna have a problem. And we ran forever. It was never like that. So I grew up in sports. So it was a whole different game. Like, I needed you. Like, Lance, you're the quarterback. Come on, bro, throw me the ball. You handed me the ball. You're going to be my boy. Yeah, we're going to disagree. Let the disagreement be there. That's not. I think that people have conversations instead of just having a conversation.
You know how I feel about most political people? I think that people got to start doing the right things, right? Especially right now, things are still shut down. People are going out and eating in restaurants when their own restaurants are shut down with no mask, right? The lunacy, right? People are getting haircuts when barbershops are shut down. People are going to gyms when gyms are shut down, right? It's just hypocrisy. Why the hell are you not someone? The problem is we need more Tracy Hardys. And when you reached out to me to be on here, I know you don't want to be in politics. You already have a successful career in politics. Why want a guy like you? I don't see people like you who I would gladly say, here's my check. Here's the big check. Go out there and change the community for the better. Why not you?
Me personally?
Yeah, you, Tracy. Because I know you for 20-some years. I know the heart of you is a good man.
This
is me lobbying to get him to run right now. We need better people.
My wife asked me the same thing, why I never ran. And my thing is that I never wanted everything that I do to be public knowledge. And the second thing is that why do I gotta be a politician to do the right thing? I'm supposed to do the right thing. I gotta have a position as a mayor to lead. I should be able to lead from where I'm at right now.
But you could implement more change by being our next mayor or senator or congressperson than you can. I know you're a great leader. I see what you do to the community all the time. You give back. You're a restaurant. I know you guys give free meals. I know how much you do. But why not take it to the next level? You're actually a good-hearted person. Don't you think that we need more of you in there? More people like you. Good-hearted people.
I just don't want to run for office. I just don't want to run for office. I never wanted to run for office. My mother told me I would run for office when I was a teenager, and I said no. And
I do hope you run for a political position. I really do, because I feel like someone like you, Tracy, could change our community for the better. And being that you are local from Philadelphia, we need more good people. We do. We truly, truly do. And from the bottom of my heart, you really don't ever hear me ever endorse people. I really swear I hope you run. But not switching gears.
Yep.
Okay? Your dad was a cop for 30 years. We talk about it multiple times. Hard worker, no nonsense guy.
Yep.
The police right now are under all-time scrutiny. A lot say it's unjustified. A lot say it's more than justified. Mm-hmm. What would you say right now? And there's a little bit of both.
On the personal side, being a cop's son and my mom working in a psychiatric hospital as a nurse, I was either crazy or I was in trouble. So either one of them ended up with some severe discipline from my father. So it didn't matter. So, and she was a nurse, so if I got injured, I got bandaged up. So everything was in-house. Cops got a rough break right now, As coming up as a kid, I'll be honest with you. The way I was disciplined I didn't like my father. I kind of hated him because he was always in my face, always in my business on everything. I couldn't do nothing without him finding out. It was amazing how this man could find out something I did light years away from him. As I became an adult and I became a parent, everything that he instilled in me is like crazy. I remember African American police officers that are in homes that are parents have to carry the weight of their family and then come to work and carry the weight of the police officer brotherhood. And that's a whole different gamut of how these guys have to form some kind of bond and some kind of family within themselves so that they can survive on these streets. So it's almost, at some point, it's us against them, but we're still a part of them. So we're asking the police officers now that are underpaid significantly, overworked significantly, to be counselors, to be drug addict professionals, to be caregivers, to be police officers, to be social workers, to understand all these things, and then have sensitivity and concerns of everything else. And all these different things you ask them to be, and at the same time, at a snap of a finger, you want them to turn into a gorilla or an animal to take care of something that's in dangerous harm. No person on this earth is equipped to handle that type of situation every day. It goes with a lot of emotion. It goes with a lot of heartache and pain. And wherever that person experiences on the job, there's no way in the world that he doesn't take that home to his family. It does. It's hard to turn off from work to home. I'll be honest with my wife gets everything. I'm like, listen, I'm married to you. I love you. I ain't leaving you. But yeah, you are my punching bag. You're my sounding bag. I'm supposed to give all my heartache and pain to you because you're my wife. Sometimes it can be overbearing for her, but it's just me venting and letting out because of so much frustration that's happened outside the door and my hands are tied.
Do you believe the police are being mistreated right now, or do you think it's probably rightful treatment?
If we're talking about nationwide, I think that it's not totally 100% fair.
What about in Philadelphia?
In Philadelphia, we have the highest homicide rate right now in Philadelphia outside of Chicago, and we have one of the highest gun rates, gun violence in Philadelphia.
I know you want to talk about that. Do you think, first, that Philadelphia police are being fairly treated by the media or not?
I think they're getting better. I think it wasn't as good as it used to be. I mean, you have to understand the history of police officers in Philadelphia.
Do you feel like the press, the media is treating the police fair?
Oh, the media is going to run with whatever sells, whatever sensational sells music. Right now, they're going to give them a bad rap because that's what people are glued to.
Do you believe most police officers are good or bad, Tracy?
I believe most police officers are decent. I think they're decent human beings. I think they're taxpayers. I think they have someone they love and care about. I think that. Do some police officers have a different gene in them that can turn them into somebody a different deviant? Yes. Can that deviant be caused by color? Can that deviant be caused by stress? Can that deviant be caused by broken marriage? Yes, I believe that. But I don't believe that every police officer is bad.
So let's just talk about that, right? What I don't understand is this: people want to defund the police, right? Mm-hmm. When something happens, who's the first person you're gonna call? Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters? I mean, honestly, we both been around, right?
Yeah.
Don't you think the answer is maybe fund the police more, education more, community relationships more? I mean, I do agree with you. There's some people out there, whether they're police, digital marketers, whether they be doctors, there's some just bad people out there and they're racist, right? And some of you always like, well, would you want your one pilot to be a bad apple? Well, I'm sure there are pilots out there that are racist, but they're just not going to take down a plane of 80 people. But there have been pilots that have taken planes into the sides of mountains.
Yeah.
Right? So, that's just the reality of it. So, you're going to always have bad people. Mm-hmm. Bad people have been around since the beginning of time. Mm-hmm. Do you think that we should be putting more into education of our police, more community building? Mm-hmm. Police should get raises. I mean, I think we'd have better policing if we did this instead of saying you're all just bad people and you're all right. I mean, you hear African American cops get called Uncle Toms and they're get slurs at them, and you're like, wait a minute, man, I'm just trying to help protect the community here. What are we doing?
Mm-hmm. I think that there's a play on words with the media when it comes to defunding the police department. No one is defunding the police department. We're slightly undermanned right now because it's about 55 to 6,000 police officers in Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. We're like we need more. I think that when they're not saying the whole thing about defunding, and that's the thing that people that run for office use.
Well, thank God Philadelphia's not, but Portland did, and they cut the what's the woman's name?
Salary?
They cut her salary which I thought was irony. You have the highest paid chief. I think that's her title, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
One of them in the country. Mm-hmm. She's an African American female. Mm-hmm. They literally cut her salary by $100,000, and she winds up making less. They had to go 3 chiefs back that were all white.
Yep.
That were making more than her. How does that benefit? How does that benefit moving forward?
See what they're trying to do. They're trying to bite at the apple, and you can't just bite at the apple. You got to take the whole basket, pour out the water, and you can't just say, I'm just going to pick one apple out and bite the apple and all the apples are good or all the apples are bad. No. That's not the answer. They rushed to judgment on that. That was the wrong thing to do. Cutting that woman's salary or cutting someone's salary is not the answer to what the problem is. If you work in that institution, in that union to come up on the ranks, you deserve every dollar you get. thank God you're alive. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So let's just start there. So if you make it to be chief or commissioner, the salary cost.
She might have been commissioner. I'm sorry.
The salary cost for that, that's what it is. Guess who sets the police commissioner's salary? Not the police commissioner. The mayor and the city council approved the budget, what her salary is. So if you saying that, oh, you're going to defund this, defund that, no. What I'm believing that's being said and being talked about is the fact that they're going to put these other programs in there for folks that have been in a shooting to sit down and talk to someone. Maybe come out the street for a little bit, get a tune-up, as I would say, oil change, get back on the block. Someone that's been in a situation where, what's the thing? The girl, girl trafficking?
Human trafficking.
Human trafficking. That's been in Philadelphia and like growing. So I think that people that's working in those special units, they need some counseling. They need some help with that. Because,
well, imagine if you saw that every day, Tracy.
Yeah, but you still seeing it every day doesn't make it right.
No,
seeing somebody die every day, you build some kind of.
But we're shitting on those people right now. They're seeing the worst of the worst. Not everything ends in a happy story. This isn't A&E or Lifetime.
I understand that. They're seeing the worst, so they need somebody to talk to debrief and go from there. Not just handing the paperwork, or Lance, here's my paperwork. This is what I have. I believe that all police officers have feelings about that stuff. How they deal with that afterwards will be my biggest question and my biggest hope for what the fair funding should be for the police department.
If you were mayor of the city,
yep,
how would you handle the media right now with everything going on? Would you go more direct with a Donald Trump style to social media so you get your message out so it can't be altered? Or would you go to the major networks? What would you do to get your message out directly so no one can change the message?
Me, I'm still part of a radicalness within my own self. I would refrain from the media 100%, and I would just take to the streets of Philadelphia and deal with the people, and let the media interpret what the hell they want to interpret, which is always wrong, and let the people speak with what's going on. If Mayor Kenny or this person or that person, John Street did a lot. He ran up and down the streets of Philadelphia. He tried to do the best that he could. Now, when he did that, they accused him of being more outside of the office than in the office. You know what I mean? So I would be more into going into the churches and sitting and see what's going on. Going to the police advisory committee and see what's going on. Go to the block captains to see what's going on. You know what I mean? Hey, need be, I might have to sit down with that drug dealer and feel like what's going on. Yo, I know who you are. They know who you are. I know who you are. You can't do nothing in Philadelphia in this world no more. They got infrared beam satellites. They know who's doing what. It's just a matter of time before they want to come and get you.
See, this is leadership. And this is why we need people like you, Tracy. I know you don't want to run for anything.
No.
But we need more people like you. And everyone watching this is thinking to themselves, you're dumbing it down so much, just so straight to the people.
You got to.
I know, but we need more people like you. You should have never asked me to come on, brother. Because I told you years ago you should run. I've been telling you that. I know what? I know you want to come on and talk about some other things. We'll get into it. But you got to remember, I got an agenda too, and it's for the Philadelphia people.
Absolutely.
To put the best people there.
Absolutely.
And you got to go. And I hope everybody forces him. I hope your wife, your kids, because we need good people. But here's another question for you, though, on a serious note.
Yes, sir.
The gun violence is through the roof, right?
Terrible.
I had Krasner on here not too long ago, as you know.
Yep.
Nice guy. I truly believe he means what he says. I don't believe he comes from a malice place. People are like, Lance, you're a psycho. He's a terrible person. Nah. I mean, I just don't think he's that. I just think he has a different viewpoint. And when people come from a different viewpoint, you got to be able to accept it or not. And
yeah,
that's up to you. I'm a very accepting guy of almost every viewpoint, right?
Yep.
What's your take on none of the politicians getting involved in shutting the gun violence down?
Well, I will say this, Lance. I am a proud member of the NRA, card-carrying member of the NRA.
Thinking about that had to be the first thing you say to that, though. That's terrible.
No, it's not.
I know it's not.
Because it's okay to bear arms.
I know it is, but I'm just saying.
We have not taught gun responsibility to our kids.
I know, but think about what you just said to the answer, which I'm fine with. Believe me, like, all my friends, my family, I get it.
Yes.
I'm not for or against that. No, I think everyone has the right to bear arms also.
Yes.
But you're thinking automatically said, it's bad, then I'm going to protect myself. I'm getting home.
Yes.
My question to you was, why are none of the politicians doing anything? Think about your answer to that question. You're thinking automatically, it's the Wild Wild West down there, isn't it?
It is the Wild Wild West out there. Everyone has access to guns. Everyone has access to guns. I mean, you know, and no one's scared to shoot a gun.
My question is, why are the politicians not stopping it? You got to know. You got to have a reason.
I don't have an answer to that because I thought that they, you know, on this particular topic, I will be honest with you. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired about this. I've done the gun give backs. I've done the, you know, give us the gun. We give you $100 vouchers to Walmart and all this stuff. We collected all these guns. And I mean, the guns go to the police department. They melt them down or whatever they do with them. And we've done it. Where I actually was asked to be a part of another gun drive in a couple weeks and with our sponsor and put up some money or some meals from Lou and Chews. I said, fine, no problem. But that's not the answer anymore.
What's the answer? I want to know what the answer is from you.
The answer is that these kids are scared, not educated, and the people that raise them are not disciplined, and they're scared to control their own child. That's it. If my son's on the corner selling drugs, I know that. I'm going to that
school
corner.
System's also broken in Philadelphia. It seems like it keeps getting worse, right?
The worst.
The worst, right?
Yes.
I'm going to ask my friend Tracy, Mayor Tracy,
Yep.
What do you do to start? Because my brothers are school teachers there.
Yep.
And my heart breaks for them sometimes because I know
Mine
the
too.
challenges they have. And it's not even about them. It's about their kids, right? You know, it's about all these children. What would you do as the mayor to help that school system out right away? What would you do?
First of all, I would stop putting people in office as superintendent they're not from Philadelphia, they don't care for Philadelphia, and know how to better move Philadelphia in the school district. So if I'm saying something about the current superintendent, yes, because I'm not impressed.
Okay.
I'm just not. I would get all the state representatives, all the lobbyists I could, and we would go and sit in protest in Harrisburg. And we will shut down Harrisburg and make nothing move till you give equal funding to Philadelphia that you do in Montgomery County, that you do in Chester County.
Explain that to the viewers because a lot of people aren't going to understand.
Well, I'll give you an example. This is an example. If every child in Philadelphia gets $123 to be educated in the Philadelphia school system, and then every kid in Montgomery County gets $400, whose facility is better? Whose infrastructure is better? Whose technology is better? Who got more books? Who's got more access to field trips and everything else outside the city?
Now, the other people on the other side, I would say it's my taxes. I'm paying higher taxes for that. Just devil's advocate, I'm paying higher taxes. It should come back to my school. What would you say to them?
They're paying property tax, and property tax is a formula that parts of it go to the school district, but not that whole thing. Montgomery County, I think my dad pays $6,000 a year. His $6,000 doesn't go to school district. It goes to the trash. It goes to this. It goes
but
to that.
At a higher percentage, it's going.
True.
So what would you say to that person?
That say to that person about paying a higher tax? Yeah, but just because you pay, it should be made based on what your tax structure is. It should be based on your population. You know you need more money to educate. You can't throw less money and try to educate more children. It's not going to work. It's impossible.
You know, I try not to give my opinion on this show, Tracy, but
Shoot.
I would have no problem with that. I think you should take the money, chop it up evenly, make the facilities better, and I live...
But here's the problem with that. You have a city, and you have a
Meaning
city
every
and a
kid
budget.
should get the same exact dollar amount.
Yes.
Just make it plain and simple.
Yep.
If I got 1,000 kids here, you put each kid gets 400, it's 400,000 or 40,000,
Now,
whatever it may be.
That's not going to fix everything.
But it helps.
So-
It's a start.
Yeah. So then
It's a big change.
you got to go back. Before I did that, I would implement. What are we doing with the money that's supposed to be implemented for the infrastructure of the school district? And what have we done with capital improvements over the last 2 decades? I haven't seen really new schools. I've seen shutdowns of schools that have been turned into like condos and everything else. So, what are we doing?
You've been involved in politics.
Yes.
You're also an entrepreneur. You own your
Yes.
own restaurant. You own some other things.
Mhm.
You've done well for yourself. You must have mixed emotions right now. What's going on with the bars and restaurants in Philadelphia? I mean, as a business owner, you have to have. I mean, you gave me a big hug as soon as you saw me.
Yeah, you're my boy.
I know, but so you gotta have mixed emotions.
I mean, I do.
Can you
First
talk
of all,
to me about that as a business owner?
I'm a gym rat. So when you took LA Fitness from me, I got 3 memberships. I'm carrying 35 pounds I shouldn't be carrying right now. So you took the gym away from me, and I can't get motivated with my wife and my kid at home, asking and doing everything, running around, driving me crazy. So you took that from me. Then you said, it's a difficult time. I can't sum it up in no other words.
Do you think bars and restaurants should be shut down?
No, I don't think so.
Or at 25-50%? Do you think we should? No.
I don't think so. So you got 25-50% here, but when I go to Montgomery County, I can sit at the bar. I can do whatever I want to do. If I go further out, I can go inside the bar, and it's not a problem. So your state mandate is only mandated by your population, so that I'm saying.
Some will argue it's the science. I will publicly say absolutely not at this point. COVID cases are increasing, but there's less deaths per capita every single day. The field goal post has been moved on us so many times. You just don't know what's true or what's not.
The mayor is the mayor of the city. He has the final word on what moves and what don't move. So I'm not going to let a health director tell me that I'm going to open up 25% of the bars. For what? The bar being open didn't give nobody corona. The bars was closed didn't give nobody corona.
The cases were still going.
What are you talking about? So what you did is you bled. This is how I see it as a business owner. You bled Philadelphia dry. You sent everybody long. They want the Jersey got liquor. They want the Montgomery County did this. They want the Delaware. They did whatever they wanted to do outside of Philadelphia. And still, to this day, I received no money from PPE or the EILD. I applied for all that shit. I didn't get a damn dime. You made it to the next round. You made it to the next round. You made it to the next round. Well, how many more rounds is it? Oh, the money dried up. Well, how are you helping small businesses? You're not.
Destroying
that mortgage is still due. That insurance is still due. Where is it coming from?
Do you think it's deliberate?
Yeah, I think it's deliberate. I think they're being assless about it. And I'm passionate about it, and I think it's just wrong.
Do you think this is so political it's just to get Donald Trump out of office at this point? Or do you think there's an underlying thing? Because, I don't know. You're a Democrat. I'm just asking you.
I don't think it's a ploy to get Donald Trump out of office. But if it was, and I found out, I would be one mad person. Because now you're playing with my livelihood for my ability to feed my family over politics.
Do you think there's some politics that are coming into play here to move this agenda to keep bars shut down?
Of course.
These things don't make sense. Like you own a restaurant, right?
Yep.
Someone has to eat a hot dog to have a beer in your place. Is that stopping COVID-19?
Nope.
Is the hot dog
nope.
the vaccine?
Nope. No. I don't understand what the governors... Well, I don't know if the Department of Health decided that you had to have a meal. Then we had to figure out what constitutes a meal. Is a hot dog a meal? They said, no, a hot dog and fries is a meal, but a hot dog is not a meal. I can't give you a hamburger. No, you got to have hamburger with something else to consider what a meal is. Shit, Roman noodles.
I like ramen noodles. My friend Chris Marisi loves ramen noodles.
Me too. I'll put some shrimp in them. Look, I'm ready to go. A couple onions. I explore with them all the time. But that could be constituted as a meal.
So now we're going down this road. Most people, and I love the fact that you're on the den today. I do. It's great to see you, first of all, as a friend.
Likewise.
But second of all, you understand, and I never did, how politics plays into local business more than anything. Because people are like, Lance, why are you still watching politics? Why are you watching everything that's going on? And I'm like, if you're educated, no matter what side of the aisle, right, you might have different views, but you probably want to educate yourself because it's going to impact your business more than you ever know.
Absolutely.
Can you explain to people what that means?
When a governor, you have the checks and balances, you have the Senate and you have the Congress. When they meet and get along, which is not often, and they pass a bill, and the bill gets passed, that's passed by the federal government, it gets kicked to the states. Now, for the federal government, when they kick it to the states, it's the state's job to interpret it and put it out to the municipalities and across the state of Pennsylvania. And it's crazy because we're like, how can y'all do that and we can't do that? Like, how can y'all? I'm like, man, no, they didn't say that. They said this. And we got everything that we got interpreted, but they also said that this is the mandate that comes down from the state, and then the counties can interpret it and enforce it the way that they see fit. So, I see now. Because that's why Kenny said 25%, but it wasn't 25% in Norristown.
Correct.
He said 25%, but I went to Delco. I had a beer, I was inside. I'm like, it doesn't make any sense. So when I asked them to push back on it, they told me it was because of our population per capita and things of that nature, which I understand. I get it.
So your local politicians play such a big role in business.
Absolutely.
And it's the least turnout among anything when voters vote.
Exactly.
Which is amazing to me.
Exactly.
Which is amazing to me. And I don't quite understand it, how people just don't see it. Do they not care? Everybody wants to scream and yell. As you know, I'm going to vote for my first time ever because I'm tired of screaming and yelling. And I got to make a change somewhere, right?
Absolutely.
You know, I know you're working on the Biden campaign. I know you're one of the leaders here in Philadelphia that's really making a hard push to relying on you. Can you give me the pros to Joe Biden? Can you give me the pros of Donald Trump?
Pros?
Yeah, the pros of
You know what
Trump.
I think about Donald Trump, to be honest with you, and a lot of people say this. I'm not mad at Donald Trump for doing what he said he's going to do. He told you guys who he was. He told you what he was about. And he did exactly what he said he was going to do. I ain't mad at that. Oh, you just thought America, he wasn't going to do it? He just told you what he's going to do. I'm going to go down there, I'm going to cut down them trees. I don't care what the people say about air pollution. I don't care about the wildlife. I don't care about growing no trees. Oh, yeah, I'm going to go out there and we ain't getting no more rubber tires from China. So Yokohama, Komos, all those other tires, nah, get out of here. We're going to try to do some more Goodyear and this, that, and everything else. He told you what he was going to do. He said, I'm Donald Trump. I'm coming in here. I'm a businessman. I'm going to get paid. All my friends going to get paid. I ain't dealing with these people. I ain't dealing with them people. Next. I ain't mad at him. If he did something that he said he wasn't going to do, or he presented himself as something he was not, okay. He said exactly what he said he was going to do. I ain't mad at him. I'm hurt for the fact that he is the type of man that he is, but...
So let's get into
that's a
Biden now. What would you say is good or bad about Biden?
I think Biden's strength is that for once he gets it. He has relationships that can help across seas and mend some relationships that we need to do. I don't think that Donald is the best diplomat to handle foreign affairs. And I think that Biden will he's been there, he's had relationships that he could soothe some of these waters. I think that we shouldn't be ever going to war or having words or being aggressive with Canada. Come on, man. They right here, like, Canada don't bother nobody. They cool. Like, I think that will help a lot. I think Biden's strength is that. I think that Kamala Harris's education speaks for itself, and her educational policy and reform speaks for itself. And some people may think that she is rough and she is a little bit angry, and I think that the American people, we've got soft over the years, and we need that discipline. And I think that democracy played too much of a role, and that the liberals got too much involved, that we got too lax of what we used to be. I used to be proud to be American. I'm confused if I'm really American anymore, because I wake up and I don't see the America that I grew up with when I was throwing the football with Lance when I was 7, 8 years old. It's different now. It's not even fun no more to say I'm American. Mm-hmm.
We've had these problems way before Donald Trump. I think we'd agree that, right? Mm-hmm. Some of the things we talked about here today, right?
Yep.
So we know he's not the one that started it all. I'm not saying he helped it, not saying he didn't have raised it. I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying we know it's been around for years. Why do you think, and I'm just curious.
I know what you're going to ask me too.
What am I going to ask you?
Why do I think that we're here now?
No, why do you think we're here now? And I also, did you ever think you'd be in such a divided America? Because I think I think America started getting divided under Obama. I think it just accelerated. And I think it's funny, because I said this to you earlier, Donald Trump did tell everyone what he was going to do. And he did.
Yep.
And he did. I don't agree that he said, I'm going to make all my friends rich part, but he has a ton of enemies, right? China, Democratic Party, everyone. The American economy is the best it ever was underneath him. It was under Obama, coming back strongly. So anyone that said that that's not true, Obama handled the whole crisis with the banks better than anyone I think could at that time, right? I mean, you got to give him his due on that. I mean, You'd agree that, right? Obama handled it well?
Yes.
Trump just, I think, accelerated the business side of him. How do these career politicians become worth $200 million, $250 million? Because I don't think people understand how Donald Trump is bringing these jobs back by stopping the trade, and there's no kickbacks on the back end. Can you kind of explain that to the viewers?
Well, let's back up a little bit. When Obama was in office, the policies and things that set in motion. See, a lot of people think that when you're in office, that America turns and it's instant gratification. What's going to happen? Doesn't happen.
It takes years.
Everything that Trump is taking success for is what Obama already did. What America did is said, "Damn, oh shit, there's a black guy that's a president. How the freak did we let this happen?" So now they went on to, oh man, we're now the minority. White people say, we're in the minority. This is our shit. No, we got to change. So they went on the defense. They knocked everything from Mitch McConnell, from everybody else. Everything this man tried to do and pass, they knocked it.
So think
it was an upcoming. So Trump coming in was the answer to the Antichrist.
But so you think Trump won just out of pure racism?
Yes. He didn't even believe he won.
But
he said that. Hey, I didn't even know I won.
But here's a question for you. He has, I think, a 26 or 28% approval rating among black people right now. And that's the highest of any Republican president in modern time.
Let me ask you a question.
No, I'm just asking you. No, I'm asking you.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Who are they polling to ask this question? They never called me. I never got one polling question.
I never got a polling question either.
Exactly. So
I'm
who are they
Tracy.
polling?
I don't know.
Because it's the media giving you bullshit again. Get the hell out of here.
So why would the media is trying to tear him down? Because they want African American.
They trying to build up his African American base.
Why would CNN and NBC is trying to get him out? Do that.
Get him out to do that because they want him to be seen as a president that is for everybody.
I read an article saying he has 26, 28%. They said modern history for a Republican, like that's unheard of. I don't know if it's true or not, but
it's not true.
Okay, I don't know, but I'm just repeating you.
Here's the thing about polls I want to tell you. Polls don't poll everybody. Polls don't.
They never polled me.
Me either. The polls don't. You're a teacher. You was in a union. They're definitely not polling you. I'm just saying they just don't. So
I love you.
They poll who they want to poll. But guess what's more important to the poll? The poster. Guess who the poster is? Hey, Lance Bachmann. Bam, Tracy Hardy. I'm a poster. You think I'm gonna give you a poll that says you're in the shitter? No, you're doing good, my man. So the poll is always on the scale to 3 to 5% margin of error. And then you have also the biasness of the poll. And then what particular questions are you asking during the poll? That's how you break down a poll.
So you don't believe his approval rating with African Americans is that good?
No.
If you were placing a bet right now, Biden, Trump wins 2020.
So, but I answer this correctly for my job is on the line. I think that America is hurt right now. That
I agree with you on that.
We need to heal, and Trump is not the healer. And I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say nothing about Biden, but another candidate is the healer. We need to heal.
Do you think Kamala Harris will be a healer?
Yes. I think she's a mother. I think that she's a litigator. I think that she's been at the highest level of policy, that she could bring, some class, dignity, and respect for the White House. That's supposed to be the highest.
I like Kamala Harris. I have no problem saying that publicly anyway. I like, for anyone, I know how hard it had to be for her to get where she is.
Absolutely.
And that takes a lot of gut, courage, a lot of endless nights, a lot of endless days,
crying,
a lot of fighting the system, a lot of just fighting a lot of things. Mm-hmm. So I got much respect for her. And
I think that helps his candidacy.
I think with that, I mean, people say that she got picked because she was an African American female. I don't think that's the case. I think she's more. I hate to say this.
Which is better than Warren, and she's better.
I think she's better than him. I think she's a great human being. I
think she's a decent person, very much so. But
she's
I like
tough on crime.
She is.
People don't realize she isn't like.
She ain't no candy ass. She's straight. She's straight fire.
I think she wants what's best for America. I don't think she likes seeing what's happening in all these cities right now.
No, I think she's passionate about it too.
If you were to win the presidency, let's just say you became president, how do you bring us back together? Because I would agree with you. I think people have gotten more racist over the last few years. I don't think people that weren't racist have become. I've heard my own friends, black and white, saying, "Yo, I'm starting to become agitated.
Yeah.
I'm starting like to that. This just like would never happen before." And you hear it from them. So, what would you do? I want to know, what would you do to bring America together?
But it goes to, it's like a two-part.
I'm going to say personally.
Personally, I would do is I would spend the weekend with every Republican in the entire United States of America.
Just spend the weekend with them.
I want to know where your background is, who your parents are, what if you like chitlins, if you like pig feet, if you like ribs. Because if you don't get to know the people that are not with you, you can't get anything done in there. So I gotta go there and almost befriend me. I gotta be friends with the enemy to get things done. FCC filing or whatever.
So you think what's happening right now is more dividing us by the media and pulling us together?
Yes, because that's feeding people negative bullshit that they don't need to hear. People already need an excuse to be with something. They're looking to be a part of something. But if I give you a message, now you're a part of the wrong something. No, man. I say grenades are good for war, but not for you to cap them in your neighborhood. Come on, man, get them back. So you got to figure out, where that medium is, and everyone's got to say the same thing. If you go on TV and you say, I want everybody making left turns. If everybody make a left turn, what you going to do? You're going to make a circle. Now, how the hell you make a square? Or how the hell you make an octagon? You ain't making left turns. That's a problem. Shut it down. Everybody makes circles. Now, when we master everybody making circles,
the envelope.
Gotta push the envelope.
Here's my final roar for you. It's the last question. I hope you don't mind me asking it this way.
Cool.
But clearly, you're an African American male, successful.
Sure.
Right?
Yes.
I hope you don't mind me saying that, right?
No, that's fine.
Okay. What would you say to every viewer out there right now? It's either an African American business owner, anybody watching this with their kids, because mostly business owners are on watching this, mostly entrepreneurs. What would you be saying to that young Lance Bachmann and Tracy when we met in our early 20s together? What would you say to them that want to aspire to be a successful entrepreneur, political figure, great father, great friend, great community person? What would you say to them? That
I tell my son every day that I did a lot of things so you could be better than me. And so Dad, I can never be better than you. Yes, you can be better than me because you got the blueprint for greatness. I'm saying that you have to get sick and tired of being where you're at within your own self and work beyond your own brachialis. When I'm a body trainer, I want to train, I'm supposed to do 7 sets of 10. If I keep doing 7 sets of 10, I'm in the mindset that that's it. When am I going to do 8 sets of 10? When am I going to do 7 sets of 12? You have to push yourself to be great. And when you're in this process of being great, ladies and gentlemen, you're never tired. So if you're sleeping 8 hours a day, you're not pushing the envelope. I never slept 8 hours a day. I sleep 4, maybe 3 to 4 hours a day. Why? Because there's someone every day that I could do something to help. I help them get on with my way, get on with my day. If I have a business, I'm employing people. If I'm working on campaigns, I'm helping people. Everything that we have to do, we have to be able to help one another, learn from one another, and steal from one another to be great. And this will morphosize yourself into a person. I took what my dad taught me. I took what my mentor took me. I took the grace and respectability my wife gave me just to be the man I am today. I haven't always been this graceful with words and very apologetic and soft-spoken. I had to get to this point, and it was a rough paper route getting here. But you got to study, you got to read, you got to learn. You can't be scared. You got to ask questions. And the basic thing that stops people from being great is themselves. You got to get out of your own head, get out of your own way, and just keep pushing the envelope every day. I see somebody in the gym, he's doing something wrong. Most of my friends, they don't help him. Oh, Hardy, you always helping him. Yeah, because I don't want this guy to break his arm. Come on, dude, what are you doing? Let me help you. Let me show you. And I think that goes a long way. Doesn't matter about race to me. People are going to be who they want to be. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. My God is strong. I'm good. I'm blessed. I'm going to keep rocking and rolling. But at the end of the day, I know for a fact that when it comes to what I do as a man and what I do in my community and what I do for business and what I do in politics, I work hard. I outwork everybody. I don't make excuses. I may make excuses to complain to my internal friends and family and stuff like that, but no one else knows that inner side of me. I'm there to do business and take care of it. We got to stop being so damn emotional and sensitive. Stop it. Someone says something disrespectful to you, somebody cussed at you, or somebody looked at you a different way. Oh, well, I'm going to keep it moving. The time you spend to acknowledge that is the time that you just let your blessing go out the window. God made one thing. Doesn't matter what you believe in. He made the back window small in a car, but he made the front windshield big for a reason. He don't care where you came from. He wants you to see where you're going. And that's what you got to believe in. You got to keep pushing.
I love it. I love it. Tracy Hardy, I can't thank you enough for being on the Den today. And I really do hope from the bottom of my heart that you run for politics, for a political position. I don't care what that position is, but I believe people like you, men like you, good men like you, is what we need in the Philadelphia area that don't care about money, that don't care about the fame or fortune, that don't want power. All you want is to see the community get better, to see people get better, and to see people heal. And I truly believe you wouldn't care what people on the other aisle thought of you, and you'd keep pushing your agenda to make it a better place. Tracy, thank you so much. Congratulations on your success, and I appreciate you being on the Den.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this content, please don't forget to follow me at Lance Bachmann on Instagram and Twitter. Follow me on Facebook at Lance Bachmann Digital. And every Thursday we drop a new podcast. Don't forget to listen to it. We're giving out great content. And remember this is the time to build your business right now. Let's effing go, everybody.